you shocked? Are you looking for authentic? If you are, then stop, cause you probably will regret it. We say no synthetic, no synthetic. If they ready, we'll let you know if you should go and get them. We got fat, we got crew, never slack on the fruit. For OGs and the youth, you can kick it with us too. Technology.
Where he at? Where Tim go? Y'all don't listen. Is that really what he put his name as? Y'all don't listen? I didn't even notice that before we came on here. That's crazy. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good. You?
Good, man. Okay, we go. Is that
Jameis? You really have it. Damn, bro.
Okay.
Hey,
Nothing wrong with that.
Tim, you couldn't go get the current jersey though.
Hey man, it's in the mail, brother. It's in the mail.
He wanted to make sure they won first. I ain't gonna buy a new one. Oh, that's what's up, man. So, hey, what's been going on, y'all? I already know how Tim feeling. What's been up, man?
We chat, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell y'all boys. I tried to tell 1127. I tried to tell A6. I tried to tell D Reed. I tried to tell everybody. The Bucs was gonna take it. Y'all didn't want to listen to me. I said Goat Brady. Kicknology said Goat Brady. Y'all didn't want to listen to me. I said AB. Some people said he wasn't gonna make it 2 weeks. Okay. I said Grunt. They said he wasn't gonna make it 3 weeks. Okay. Now we the champs. I tried to tell y'all, man. Y'all like the name say, y'all don't listen. Y'all should just start listening. You're champs, man. Defense was spectacular.
Yeah, it was. I can't even front about that. That's true. Defense was good. Defense was real good.
So man, just feels good to be a champ, man. Feels good to be right. You know what I mean? And big up Tampa, man. The city's on fire right now. They still going crazy down there. You know, technology staying on his end of town, and me too. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that stuff, man. Like, hey, I'm good. I'm good not having anything to do with the nonsense. We already won, so I'm all good on it, man. But
I have a question though. Is there going to be a parade?
I don't know. So what they've done before is a boat parade, but I don't think they do it. I think what they probably are going to do is tell everybody to wait and try to do the parade before next season starts, like in like late July, early August.
Okay,
that makes sense.
I think, yeah, that makes most sense. I think at that time you'll have much better numbers from a vaccination standpoint, from a herd immunity standpoint, to be able to justify having an actual parade.
But hey, look on the bright side. At least y'all would go to the White House, see the actual president.
See a real president. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
All right, so hey, we're gonna do it the way we've been doing. I got some questions already populated, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go through some of these questions, chop it up. And just get y'all honest opinion about some stuff. So of course it's gonna be heavy Super Bowl related. So Chuck, Smooth, my apologies in advance, but y'all already know what it is, the current situation. So let's go ahead. We're gonna start with just the Super Bowl 55 panel reaction. I want to know y'all reaction from the Super Bowl. Like, what are y'all thoughts about how it happened? Because I will be doing the giveaway at the end of this live. I got to do the math, calculate who was close, because I don't think anybody, I was looking through it last night, nobody had the Kansas City Chiefs at 9. As a matter of fact, when I put 21-24, I recall y'all telling me that was too low, that it should have been higher. And I'm like, dude, so I'm watching the game and I'm like, dang, they only put up 9 points, fool. Like, that's it. So let's go ahead, Smooth. What's your reaction from the Super Bowl? What happened?
I mean, I gotta stop doubting Tom Brady. Number one, because he just gets it done, even though he did lose to my Giants twice. But besides the point, right? I was really shocked Not so much that Tampa Bay won because again, Tom Brady, he is the GOAT and he showed out. I guess I was more shocked about how Kansas City played, the costly mistakes that they made, and I think that them missing their who were I think two offensive linemen, I think that made a really big difference. And as much credit as we're giving Brady, and he deserves it, I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve it. That defense and top balls, they deserve a lot of credit. So I guess I was more surprised by the final score, to be honest with you. I don't think nobody had Kansas City at 9. They didn't even score a touchdown. Who would have thought going to the Super Bowl they was not going to score a touchdown? So I was more surprised by the final score. But shout out to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, to Tim, and y'all won. That's it. Y'all won.
What about you,
Appreciate that.
Chuck?
Yeah, I'm like you with you, Smooth. I'm shocked from the fact that Kansas City only scored 9 points, but I knew Tampa was going to win from the simple fact, like I mentioned, past couple of weeks, Kansas City's offensive line was really banged up,
Right.
and like you said, you said they were missing 2. They were actually missing 3 guys, so
Okay.
it was going to be chaotic. I knew it, but I didn't think, like you said, I didn't think they would not score a touchdown. But I love the game plan from Tampa's end on defense. They didn't even really blitz Mahomes, if you think about it. I think that, like they said, they blitzed him the fewest times all season that they did any opponent. Top O's learned from the last time they met that the way to beat him isn't really to blitz him. The way to beat him is to have 2 men deep and put enough pressure on him to where he struggles a little bit. And that's what I kind of figured was going to happen. But I thought they were going to be able to score some more in the second half, but Tampa put a lid on that. So credit to their D. On offense, they executed like I thought they would. They got their touchdowns when they did, and in the second half, they essentially just, for the most part, they did Tom Brady ball running out the clock. And so, yeah, they're the champs, man.
Mr. Jones.
How y'all doing this evening? Listen, thank you guys for all the congratulations. Much appreciated. It's Buck Nation. Me and Technology, we was out in these streets, standing on top of the stadium last night. You know what I mean? It was crazy. It was crazy. Fireworks. It was crazy. But you're right.
Okay.
Listen, a lot of attention has been given, and rightly so, to our defense. What I will say though is that what I think really happened is, yes, the hurrying instead of the blitzing and kind of the bracketing of the 2 back or Tyreek on the deep, and not allowing Kelsey to do what he normally does. But you have to give some attention to the offense because we didn't do what they expected us to do. They expected us to do is what we've been doing all season, which is run once or twice to try to set up play action pass and get get the ball downfield to Evans and the whole thing. We didn't do that. As you saw, Evans, Scotty Miller, Brady, the guys that we typically even Godwin that we typically in the regular season went after in pretty much every game. They either had very little or no touches last night. It was Gronk, who honestly didn't show up a whole lot in a lot of the regular season games. It took him a while to kind of get going. AB, who was starting to trend up right at the end of the regular season, and then a whole lot of Leonard Fournette, who was just a monster on the run game. And I think that is what they weren't expecting was a change of pace in the offensive game to get Brady the time that he needed back there, to do what he does, go Brady, and for those other guys to be effective. So, great game plan by Byron Leftwich. Great game plan by Todd Bowles. And I just got to say that to see two African American brothers as coordinators do their thing on the biggest stage in football, in the Super Bowl, and to come out with a victory, just annihilating victory that nobody really thought was going to end up in that manner. You know, people did pick the Bucs like myself. I picked the Bucs, but I didn't pick them to beat them down like that. But for them to do that on the national stage was even more amazing. Big ups to the Bucs. Let's go, Tampa Bay. Stand up. You know what time it is.
All right, so NY Supreme, what's up, bro? Can I ask one question about yesterday? Just one. And I want to know if you know the answer, the real answer. Hey, go ahead and ask the question. While you typing that in, let me see. My reaction is, man, I'm not saying I didn't expect it to be one-sided, but at the same time, and we're gonna talk about this, and I'm a realist. Y'all know I wanted Tom Brady to win. But I didn't expect them to call some of those calls that they called. To be honest, in the first half, like I was shocked. And I thought it was just me until I heard the announcers at halftime saying it, and then I'm going online and I'm seeing big Bucs fans. They're even saying it, like, dude, let them play the game. Not saying that the Bucs weren't gonna win the game, but I was just shocked from that. Like it was, to me, it was like so obvious. Like I'm like, dang, bro. But I also was shocked to see the defense get to Mahomes as much as they did. That shocked the hell out of me, to be honest with you, because I didn't expect to see them get to him as much as they did. For him to be scrambling as much as he was, it was a couple of plays where it was just beeline straight to the guy, bro. Like it was like that people was missing their assignments. I was just shocked overall seeing the Kansas City Chiefs. They just seemed like they were just discombobulated. They wasn't even themselves. It was crazy. I don't know. For me,
it was like the perfect storm. That's the best way I put it. Like the O-line, Andy Reid's son having that catastrophe a few days before. I think that played a little factor into it as well. Mahomes having a banged up toe, injured. I mean, he didn't have a concussion, but he got knocked out like couple of games ago, so I'm sure all of those things just played a factor. It was just perfect timing for the Buccaneers, and they're the champs.
Yeah. So this is the question: that pass interference before the halftime, when Brady threw it and the receiver got tripped up, he tripped on his own, I believe, and they should have thrown the challenge flag. Do y'all think they would have won the challenge if they would have threw the flag?
So I took a look at that, and to me, it looks like unintentional tripping, right? It looked like he kind of clipped his foot, running the route. And best of my knowledge, intentional or unintentional tripping, there's going to be a flag. And so I believe that they didn't throw a flag because they looked at it and they did see that he just kind of clipped the side of his foot. But it was enough to where had they thrown the flag, they just would have lost their timeout.
What y'all think? Agree, disagree?
I think yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like you wouldn't have been able to change that call no matter what, because kind of like what Tim just said, it's like he did trip him, wasn't unintentional. Yeah, you could if they would have if they wouldn't have thrown the flag, nobody would have questioned it. But because they threw the flag, and like you said, we'll talk about it more with the refs, but it's like a lot of the calls are like, well, I don't know if you would have called that in the Super Bowl, but I also see why they threw it too. So it's like,
yeah.
Hey Tim, Jordan pose. So
hey, what up, Greg? Mike Evans got 12 toes, so he chipped on his own. I can't stand this guy. All right, so let's all All right, so this is a question that is a legitimate question because it seems like they're already speaking it. It seems like Tom Brady's already speaking it. Everybody's already speaking it. Can Bucs repeat? And what does the future? What do the future look like?
Well, can they repeat? Of course, they could repeat. They have a chance. I'll say that. I'm not gonna go ahead and declare them next year Super Bowl winners. Just yet, right? Even though I'm pretty sure Tim probably will. They have a chance, but they have to re-sign certain players. I think now they have great momentum. Tom Brady just changed. I don't know. Everybody wants to come play with Tom Brady now. So
hey, Smooth. I gotta do my Stephen A. right now or my Molly and interrupt you and ask you a question. Why can't you give it to the Bucs right now? So they repeat it. We said the Lakers could because of LeBron. I'm just saying.
I just can't get out ahead of myself. You know what I mean? I have to wait and see what move.
Tim, you see, wait, now you gotta wait and see.
I have to wait and see where Watson goes because you never know. If Watson goes to the 49ers, Tom Brady is not repeating. I'm sorry, he's not. But no, they have a chance. I think that they had to re-sign certain key players. They have a lot. I think I was watching ESPN. There was saying Antonio Brown's a free agent. Chris Godwin's a free agent. Some defensive starters as well, like Sue and I forgot this other guy's name. He's like the heart and soul of that team, but he's a free agent. So they had to re-sign certain pieces. But I do think they do have a chance. And yeah, we'll just wait and see what happens. But I do think that they're gonna have more competition next year. The Rams are gonna be better. I think the Seahawks are also gonna be better. But I guess I cannot count on. I mean, bet against Tom Brady. So if Tom Brady is still playing elite, the Bucs still have a chance. I'll leave it like that.
So NY Supreme said they possibly can repeat.
Yeah.
It's all about being healthy. Brady is the golden boy, so it's in his favor. I would love to see OBJ connect with Brady.
So let me jump in there real quick. Of course, we're gonna repeat. I mean, look, that's what's gonna happen. Okay, here's the thing with the Bucs. We were just kind of catching our stride as far as chemistry is concerned. People said, all season long, are these guys going to be able to build that chemistry in time enough to, get to the playoffs? Are they going to be able to build that chemistry enough to dethrone the defending champ and win the Super Bowl? We did all that. Okay, OJ Howard's out because he got injured. He'll be back. Let me be realistic with you guys. I do think there is a very high likelihood that we'll lose Chris Godwin. I think he's going to go after the money, and then somebody that's going to pay him where he's going to be more of the featured receiver as opposed to one of the star cast members. So I think we lose him. But in losing him, I think we're going to gain another person that Tom Brady is very familiar with, that's going to be who he needs to go to on a quick third down type of situation for a slant. I think we get somebody like a Julian Edelman, or what was the other one name that played for the Patriots? Chuck, you know his name, right? Chuck, what's his name?
Wait, I'm sorry. I was reading Greg's comment. What you said, Tim? I'm sorry.
Bump what Greg got to say. Bump that. Julian, and what was the other one name that was out there in New England? Yeah, he gonna get somebody like that to take Godwin's place, and then we come right back. There's gonna be even greater chemistry come next year, and that's gonna be the scarier part from a defensive standpoint. Shaq Barrett will still be back. That treacherous four. I think Sue will be back. They got to work with his contract a little bit, but I think him, JPP, Vita Vea, and then you got them bad boys, Vontae David, Devin White, It's gonna be, and then when in the secondary, they ain't going nowhere because they on brand new contracts. So, yeah, I think the defense gets even, scarier. That is, and now let me also put this little caveat in it. That is, if Todd Bowles doesn't get a head coaching job, but we are aware that the NFL has a problem with hiring black head coaches. So if that trend continues, he'll be with us next year.
I'm very impressed that JPP got 2 now. God bless him.
JPP came from the New York Football Giants, right? Smooth.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank
Tim,
you. Thank you.
Tim, what you think about this? Tim is biased to anything Tampa. You think that's true?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, me too.
This is my city. Are you kidding me? Of course I am. Next question.
Oh, I love it. All right, let's see here. All right, so I'm going. I already know y'all answer because we kind of already talked about it, but I'm throwing it out there because somebody asked me today would I put it in here because they would really want you guys' honest opinion. So we know that the Kansas City Chiefs were kind of like they didn't elect themselves, defense, refs, whatever. What was the biggest impact? Do y'all think it was the defense or the refs? Because if you see what the media, what everybody's saying, and I know it's a lot of fan driven stuff. But what do you guys think? Tim, you wait. I know what you think. Like I know. But what you think?
So I think it was the Bucs D. Like kind of like what you said, Jeremy. The media is making it all about the refs thinking that they made mistakes on key plays, but he shouldn't let that decide a game, no matter what. And it was the Bucs defense, how they played against Kansas City. Yes, they were shorthanded, but it was like, I mean, give them credit. They did what they needed to do to get the win. And so yeah, I say Bucs defense. Was there another question you threw out there, Jeremy?
No, just who had the biggest impact from was it the Bucs defense or was it the refs? Because see what a lot of people are saying is that that the game would have been closer if the refs wouldn't have made some of the calls that put the Bucs into closer to the red zone and gave Tom Brady. You can't give Tom Brady extra opportunities.
That's what I was going to bring up. I'm sorry. I thought about that last drive the Bucs had before the end of the first half. I thought it was kind of a dumb mistake for Kansas City to keep calling timeouts because you're essentially helping them buy time to figure out what to do to drive the ball down the field. Instead, you could have made it tougher on them, like trying to work a quick 2-minute drill and maybe to get a field goal, or maybe you prevent them from scoring, and then you get the ball back in the second half.
Right.
No, I agree.
And I saw an interesting stat, guys. It's definitely the defense. We had this, were there some calls that were kind of questionable? Maybe. But did it have a bigger impact as the defense? No. I saw a stat. I forgot where. I think it was, Fox Sports 1 or ESPN. Mahomes ran, not in terms of rushing yards, 467 yards, something like that. It was something crazy.
Yeah.
Because of all the time that the Bucs defense was getting to him. He was literally going 20 yards past where he was.
Yeah.
And somehow he managed to make the throw, but they were getting to him. And when you get to him, that's the key to getting any quarterback. The Chiefs did not get to Tom Brady. They gave him too much time. You give Brady too much time, he's gonna beat you.
Yeah.
And the Bucs defense got to Mahomes, and I think that's what made the difference. Yeah, we could argue about call here and there, but come on, let's not say it's rigged. It's 31-9. Tampa Bay was the better team last night, and they won. That's it.
Exactly.
So NY Supreme, 100% defense, because at the end of the day, the players have to change the narrative of the game.
Yeah.
Greg said neither it was Kansas City play calling. You have never seen the Andy Reid's team not run screenplays, taking nothing away from Tampa's D. So he don't think it was either one of them not taking them away for Tampa's D. Remember that. I don't know if this mattered, but when number 32 from the Chiefs got Brady tight and he just turned it up after that, don't ever get the GOAT, man. You wildin'. Hey, he did kind of turn it up. But no, I 100% agree. I feel like the only thing it would have changed would maybe it might have been one touchdown less of a victory, but I don't think it would have put the Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs still would have put the football into the end zone. In my opinion, I don't think it would have happened. So for everybody that's saying, oh, the refs, momentum. The momentum still had nothing to do with the with Kansas City actually scoring the football. That's the thing about football. Like that had nothing. That's a totally different unit. Like it had nothing to do with them going out there putting the ball in the end zone. So I definitely don't agree with it. Tim, the floor is yours, my dog.
Hey guys, I just have something quick to say here. Listen, it was definitely the defense. Okay, here's the thing about the refs. Everybody talking about the ref. You go back to, I believe it was like week 2 or 3 when the Chiefs played the Raiders and they got exposed then, right? What happened with the Chiefs in that game is similar to what happened in this one, right? They had some penalties because their secondary isn't that great outside of the Honey Badger. They're not, okay? They hold, they pull, all that kind of thing. And we've seen it happen actually several times, even beyond the Raiders game. But what happened is they also had the offense to mask those penalties. How many games this season have the Chiefs had to come back to win the game? Plenty of them, because Mahomes can do that. So they make mistakes on defense, and Mahomes comes back and he corrects it by throwing for 300, 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, and they win by a touchdown. That wasn't going to happen against this defense. So you can't blame it on the refs. Those calls were accurate. And what they did, the Bucs defense did, is they smothered him and hurried him so that he could not offset their penalties with touchdowns. So now it looked lopsided, and because it looked lopsided, and they said, "Oh, well, this is the best offense in the league," and they didn't score that one touchdown. Now it's got to be a ref screw job. No, it's not. Their game plan is finally being exposed. But this wasn't the first time you've seen it. Go back and look at that Raiders game. They did the same thing. The boy couldn't handle those receivers. They pulled flags. They got demolished in that game too.
Is it true that this first game Mahomes didn't have one touchdown? Yes, I think that's true.
That's true. Go Bucs.
2 question because gave Brady a short field. However, Brady was moving the ball. Nobody in Tampa would go against a W. So all 10 points are not needed.
Oh my God. I thought he had the bowl tonight or something.
So since we talk about Tampa being exposed, like so now that Kansas City, now that we've been hearing Kansas City has been exposed. So what does that mean moving forward? Like what did they expose? What do they need to now? What do teams know about Kansas City?
Let me start with that one. So did they expose Kansas City? I mean, yeah, a bit. If you see the same thing over and over, right? You start to learn how to adjust to it. But that's where a good coach then kicks in, right? To change it up. And I think that's what the Bucs did yesterday, and kind of changing the game plan of what everybody thought they were going to do on offense. Kansas City has to retool at this point. To not complete overall, but they got to make a couple of additions to kind of keep that high-powered offense, that train running like we're used to it. Sammy Watkins is done. He was a monster coming out of Clemson. I loved him. He did my Seminoles dirty, but he doesn't have it like he used to have it. I think he just let last year be his last year, but he didn't. Okay. Sammy Watkins needs to go. they find somebody else to be a threat like he was out of the slot. They also have McCall Hardman, who's kind of, he's streaky. Sometimes he's great, and sometimes he's not. And they also had another receiver. I'm trying to remember his name. I think it was
Robinson.
Yes, there you go, Chuck. Thank you, man. And so I think between Robinson and Sammy Watkins, they need to retool. It doesn't get any better than Travis Kelce. That's my dog. He took me to a fantasy championship. And then obviously, Tariq. I see you, boy.
Oh my God.
But they got to kind of re-up to keep that thing going. Mahomes gonna be there for 10 years, so he gonna need some people. But again, I think I said this a couple lives ago. The problem they're gonna run to at some point is the money, right? Because you can't give Mahomes half a billy, and pay Travis Kelce number one tight end money and pay Tyreek number one wide receiver money. They ain't got the money like that. They ain't the Cowboys.
So people need to stop crowning Patrick Mahomes the GOAT. People are in their feelings. Tom Brady made it do what it do. Brady is the GOAT. Mahomes ain't in Brady's level. I think people were just prematurely saying that. I don't know if it was because of the hype and they wanted the game to be a little bit more intriguing and interesting. I don't know. It's just like, and then like, I don't like the battering, the way people are just like butchering Mahomes' game now, saying that he's exposed, he's not as good. Dude, that dude's a hell of a quarterback. Like they got beat, no lie, but I don't think they got beat at any detriment to his game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't think his game is any worse than what it was before they took this butt whooping last night. But
let's call it what it is. I mean, Mahomes played about 80 to 90% of himself. Everybody else played very subpar. I mean, Travis Kelce dropped the ball like once or twice. That's very unlike him. And for it to happen during the Super Bowl just goes to show you that they were just completely off.
I'm bowling, but I'm on y'all.
But
Is this the new GOAT trend, leaving the main team and getting rings on other franchises? It seemed like that's what it's. Oh, I mean, I feel like Tom Brady's situation was a little bit different than what LeBron did, just because Brady and the coach was like, I don't think that was gonna last too much. And so many people were saying so many things about how Brady was a system quarterback. He couldn't do it on his own, blah, blah, blah. So I felt like Brady kind of just being a competitor that he was, he felt like he had to leave to do that. Otherwise, I think he would have retired a Patriot. To be honest with you, I think he liked it, but it just went soft where he was.
Right, but let me just say something though. The two GOATs are elevating everybody around them. So you have LeBron elevating the Lakers and bringing them back to a title for after 10 years. Then you have Brady bringing the Bucs a title after 18 years. So,
all right, so what you ain't gonna do?
Hold on.
This live about to get real interesting.
Yeah. Listen again. You've been watching all the sports shows today, and ain't nobody said the two GOATs was Brady and Bron. You ain't heard that on not name one show, Smooth. Not name one. It ain't gonna happen on this one. The two GOATs is MJ in NBA. That's Michael Jeffrey Jordan, okay, and GOAT Tom Brady, okay. Let's move on.
Hey, listen. No, hey, hold on. First off, I don't like the way you made it seem like my Lakers just have been complete trash.
Did I say anything about the Lakers?
No, not you.
Stop.
Not you. Not you. I'm talking about Smooth. Okay. You see, you so used to saying negative stuff about the Lakers that you took offense to it. As soon as hey, such a Laker hater, boy. Hey, Chuck, you see the way he took offense? I didn't say anything about the Lakers. I'm like, dude. Hey, but you right though, Smooth. Elevating the teams.
Yeah.
Hey, Chuck, and you know what? That's what GOAT Brady do. He elevate teams.
You
Go
know what?
Brady.
We're on good vibes right now. I'm not even gonna make an argument on that. So
Watkins been
My dog Chuck.
kind of like what Greg said on the text. I got a lot of arguments, but not today.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, my
Watkins
dog
been
Chuck, I
on
respect
one
that.
leg since he got to the league. Kansas City play calling was totally different last night than all season. Mahomes definitely not GOAT, but he has the ability to make multiple Super Bowl appearances. No, it wasn't Patrick Mahomes' fault at all. I'm saying is let Mahomes win a few more Super Bowl before we can call. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. Like I said, I think people just wanting to add some more hype and anticipation to the championship, to the Super Bowl. So they just said, you know what, GOAT versus GOAT, young GOAT versus this GOAT. And I'm like, when we start having a little GOAT, baby GOAT, when did we start crying baby goats?
Hey, let me answer that question though. With the Tampa exposed and KC, I wouldn't say they exposed them. I think they just took advantage of what was going on with Kansas City. Because I mean, everybody knew for the most part, football fanatics know that their old line was weak. And then they already played them early in the season, so they already kind of had an idea for how to play them. So add that up, it was just a perfect storm, and they took advantage of it. But as far as Kansas City next year, I think I wouldn't say they need to retool their offense. I say they need to bring in like at the very least some average corners if to help out in that back end, so that way they won't get exposed like they did in the Super Bowl.
So Chuck, let me ask you a question. It seems like you keep saying, you know, they took advantage, perfect storm, this situation. Let's say the Kansas City Chiefs are at full potential. Would you still have been going with the Bucs? It seems like you wouldn't have went with the Bucs.
It would have been a lot closer game, that's for sure. But I felt like it would have been a better matchup. Like, who would have won? We really don't know. But
who do you think would have won?
I mean, honestly, I don't know, because I mean, both have really good teams.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not gonna make a guess? You just gonna leave it open ended?
You just gonna leave it out there like that though?
Yeah, why not?
My dog.
I thought me and Chuck was on one tonight, but you know,
man, my dog.
Hey, we are on one, but if you're expecting me to give congratulations to a certain person, then
Chuck,
I didn't say that. He asked you who would have won the game, Chuck. That's a team.
Hey, well, Chuck, though, this next question you ain't gonna have no choice but to talk about it.
But Tampa Bay is an amazing team, so
Chuck Brady, you gonna answer this first. Greg said Kansas City would have won. Exclamation point.
Greg, go bold. Gosh.
Okay, so does this win help Tom Brady cement his GOAT status? Chuck, what does if this win does anything for you? Does this win, and if it doesn't do anything for you as far as the GOAT conversation, what does this win? What do you think this win means for Tom Brady? Because of course the win changes something. It changes the dynamic of something. What do you think?
I mean, it shows that he didn't need Belichick to win, but it also shows that he couldn't play 100% Bruce Arians ball. And let me tell you why. Like the first eight or nine games, he was trying to play Bruce Arians' offense. It wasn't working. Come the bye week, I'm sure that you could tell they made adjustments to where even folks like Tony Romo and whatnot mentioned it. Brady likes to make adjustments at the line of scrimmage and have movement, like have a receiver go from like left to right or what have you, just to see what the defenses are trying to do. Arians wasn't really allowing him to make adjustments. And once he started to do that, that's where Tom Brady ball started to play in, like more efficiency and not trying to make too many chances downfield. That's the way Tom Brady plays, and if you notice, that's how he played in the Super Bowl. Like in the first half, like people were expecting him to throw deep all the time. He was making like little passes. They're effective passes. Don't get me wrong. And he was able to get 5 to 10 yard plays here and there to keep the ball moving.
So the only thing it done was showed that Tom Brady could not run a certain person's offense, and that he can win without Belichick. But it does nothing for you in the conversations. What does it help Tom Brady rank in your conversation with quarterbacks, top quarterbacks of all time?
He's in top 5.
Give me a number.
I'd say 4.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm actually on the live from a different device, but you're lucky because if I was on my regular device, Chuck would have been booted.
You would have kicked him out.
Oh, God.
Absolutely.
At least I would have went out on a high note.
That's cool.
I think it's cemented just like how Brady would have had the perfect season if it wasn't for those New Yorkers, man.
And why Supreme? You already know. 18-1.
So listen. To Chuck's point, though, real quick, I think that I think Bruce Arians put it best in one of his post-game comments. He said, what I needed to do was allow him to do what he needed to do and me move out the way. Right? Now, Chuck, I would give you that argument if there was no COVID, a regular preseason, and the normal timeline to get adjusted to and have that chemistry when a new leader comes to a new team, all new weapons, with the exception of 2. But all new weapons, a whole new system, and try to get acclimated to that. He didn't have that, you know what I mean? He had to go over to a little private school around the corner here to try to run reps during the height of COVID, and as a winner and an athlete, he said, look, either we're going to go your way or you actually want to win and do it my way. And coach said, well, shoot, I want to win. Let's do it your way. And guess what? We won.
Like I said,
7 rings for GOAT Brady is more than the total of any other franchise in the National Football League. That's something that you just can't argue, Chuck. Now, I'm not trying to make you call him the GOAT because your stubbornness will not allow you to. But you have to recognize the greatness of that type of stat.
So Tim, he's the GOAT to you. Now let me ask you this, Tim. If he wasn't in,
and let me just clarify. Let me clarify something. He hasn't always been my GOAT. He really hasn't. He hasn't even really been that much on my radar because I wasn't a hater of the Patriots, but I just didn't love them. They were always winning. But let me tell you when that changed. It was some years ago. I saw him. I think it was a preseason game. The Patriots came to Tampa, and I saw the man in person throw the football. As an athlete, I recognized at that moment he was different. He's different from anybody else I'd ever seen on the football field. And that's when he started to gain the momentum as the GOAT. And then the numbers, just, the proof in the pudding. Go ahead.
It should have been when you met me years ago, and I kept telling y'all that this man was the GOAT, but nobody wanted to listen to me. Everybody wanted to argue with me. That's when it was
shortly. It was shortly after that, Jeremy, that I saw him in live action, and I did change my tune. You didn't know me to be hating on him like that after that. I didn't, because he was the truth. Now, I definitely didn't like Belichick, but that was from other personal reasons. But anyway,
With all fairness, do y'all think Brady is better than any Manning?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
What
I
you
say
mean?
something quick?
What you mean any Manning? Oh, really? You really gonna ask about Eli? Listen, just because the Giants beat him, don't make Eli better than Tom Brady. That don't mean that. Come on now.
Listen. Hey, New York Supreme. My dog Jeffrey. My dog
Here we go,
Jeffrey.
Chuck. Here we go, Chuck.
He's a better quarterback than Eli Manning, and you just don't even know him. Well, I'll introduce you to him one day.
Brady better than Joe Montana?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, you knew it was gonna come.
Chuck
Hey,
is
why not, Chuck?
Um,
Why not, Chuck?
Because like I mentioned in the previous lives, and I saw an older player mention this as well. I guess we lost Smooth. The way that the game is played now is pass happy friendly, and it's been this way for the past 10 plus years. So it favors quarterbacks now, and especially like getting those easier passes of 5 to 10 yard passes, and hey, if I will say this, Brady's the goat in doing that, and getting those key third down, first down plays, and but again, like the way that the game is played now versus back from the 90s on down, it was a lot tougher because receivers couldn't get open, and also the game was more run based. So for a quarterback to win at least a couple of Super Bowls and put up really good stats spoke a lot. And this guy won 4 championships, didn't lose any, won one without Jerry Rice. So in my book, he's still the GOAT. But again, it's all opinion based. Smooth's gonna ride with LeBron, and
yeah.
at the end of the day, it's about who you want as the GOAT.
And so, with that argument, Chuck, he won one without the greatest wide receiver that the NFL has ever known.
He did.
One.
So there are many that like
7.
that like Montana. So question is, what's best, 4-0 or 7-3? 7-3. What do you think? Come on, Tim. Come on, Tim. You didn't like Brady into this year. You should like a mute. In a screaming content.
That's not true. And Greg, that's not. And he ain't got no proof of that because that's never been the case.
All right. So
also another thing you got to remember too, when Joe Montana played, for the most part, he played in the 80s. In the 80s, you had the Skins, you had the Giants, you had the 85 Bears, and he still managed to win 4. So
all right, so let's do this. So if you were Andy Reid, what adjustments would you have made last night? Do you feel like they could have did anything differently, or they were just doomed?
I ultimately felt like they're. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't think that they were doomed. I think the running game was actually working, and they just went away from it because the passing is such of their bread and butter. Clyde, Elaire, he did his thing definitely in the second half, but they didn't even really try to run that much in the first half. Mahomes actually had some decent runs on his own. I mean, he broke a couple of those first downs just scrambling. But they went away from that. And I think had they went to that when they saw that, some of them were struggling to catch the ball and, all that kind of thing, go to the run game. Throw out some screens over there to your running back. They didn't do that. And I think that's the one adjustment that could have made it, arguably a little bit closer, but they still wouldn't have won the game because it's a Buck Nation.
So hold on, I gotta read this. I got a theory. If you win one title, are you great? If you win two, are you greater or just great? If you win seven, are you the greatest or just great? That sounds very poetic. I see where he's coming from, though.
Let me answer that real quick.
All right,
Okay.
Smooth.
Yeah, go for it, Smooth.
Titles are very important, guys. They are. But they do not determine if you're the greatest. So if you're not
That's a LeBron. That's a
Bill
LeBron.
That's
Russell,
good.
Bill Russell has 11 titles. Is he considered the greatest according to Tim Jones and Technology and my boy Chuck? No, he's not. So titles do not determine if you're the greatest or not. My boy is about to get his fifth, and he's
Who your boy?
You
he's
talking about
about
Patrick Mahomes?
LeBron James is about to get his fifth this year, and when does
Whoa,
that make
I thought we were
it?
talking about football.
No, but I'm relating it to football. So does seven make you the greatest? No, it does. Damn. All right. When it comes to Tom Brady, he is the GOAT. So it's a little bit it's a little bit different because he's like the greatest winner. Okay, you could say Michael Jordan is the greatest winner because he won 6 for 6 in the finals. So, but does that make you the GOAT? I don't know. I guess I'm kind of struggling with this question.
So
But
let me ask you, Smooth. Then, so if he's the greatest winner, and the whole purpose to play the game is to win, then don't that make you the GOAT?
No, not necessarily. No.
I like this conversation. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so hold on. Let me answer what NY Supreme 420 said. In my opinion, championships mean a lot. I'm the type of person I feel like we all do something with a purpose. Nobody is out there dribbling the basketball, throwing a football to lose the most, but be considered statistically the best. Like, that's not why they play. Like, besides Russell Westbrook, I don't think anybody go out there to get stats. Like, I really don't know. And I know he wants to win too, but it's just like, I don't know many people that go out and play the game just for stat purposes. So how many titles have to matter. So when we think about Russell and how many championships he has, yes, he has a lot of championships. Yes, his numbers are good. They're great. The reason why I say he's not the GOAT, in my opinion, is because it has to be the championships, the stats, how you impacted the game during the era. Did you elevate it? Did you change it? And then also, how did you impact other sports and everything around? Michael Jordan impacted every sport, like every sport. It didn't matter what country, like it didn't matter. He impacted every sport. And we can say for LeBron, we can say, oh, it's because of social media. That's the reason why he doesn't have the same impact. Hey, it might be, but he doesn't have the same impact the way that Jordan did, but just by dribbling the basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the reason why we talk about Michael Jordan when it talks about being the greatest in basketball. Babe Ruth, same thing. Between Babe Ruth, Jackie Robinson, you take your pick. Hey, it's kind of what they do. It's what they did on and off the court or the field, in how their game impacted every other sport. And I just don't see that right now from anybody. As great as LeBron is, as great as Kobe was, I don't see them impacting other sports. Like, they dominate their sport, like, and that's it. Like, nothing else. If that makes sense. But that's my 2 cents. So I do feel like the championships matter, but not to the degree when you're talking about the GOAT, because you have to be able to say Michael Jordan impacted sneaker community. He didn't even want to have anything to do with politics, and his name got brought up in it, race or anything. Like, he changed cultures. Like, he was role models for people that didn't even watch basketball. You feel me? Like, it's just, we got social media, and LeBron ain't even that right now. You know what I'm saying? So I can't do it, bro. Like, I can't do it. But anyway, anybody else got any theory? 7 championships?
No, I ain't got no theories on that. But fellas, I got to roll out real quick. I want y'all to hold it down, okay, with the rest of the questions.
All right.
Hey, Chuck, I appreciate you. You know, showing some respect to my boy. I appreciate it. You ain't got to call him the GOAT, but I see the respect in your heart.
Hey,
And
I didn't see no respect. I didn't see none.
Yeah,
Hey,
there's no respect. I was just showing respect to you because I know you've been wanting this championship for a while.
thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And Smooth, you know what I mean? Thank you for standing in the gap for me, man. You know, Buck life. And you just gotta let go of that Braun argument, okay? And don't say anything about him being an efficient shooter either. All right, I'll see y'all boys soon.
all right, man.
All right, man. Later.
Will you get off my screen? Hold on. All right, there we go. All right, so let's see. Skip Bayless with the Henny. Okay. Would it be fair to say that Brady is the most protected quarterback? I would never say Brady is better than Montana. Montana never lost in the Super Bowl, and Brady played in Brady played in Joe Montana era, kind of like what Chuck was saying. And like I said, it depends on the way you look at it, man. I mean,
But that's what I'm saying, man. It's like the game today is much safer for players for the most part. They're not going to get badly injured like they did in previous years. But with saying that, you also got to throw that in there where guys weren't getting open like they used to. Guys weren't getting open back then like they are now. Like receivers are given at least a 5-yard cushion from the line of scrimmage on out. That wasn't the case. Like corners would hug guys darn near, and you had to fight your way past them back in the old days. And that's one of the factors I look at when you try to say who's the GOAT as far as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. Like in this era, Brady's the guy.
Yeah.
Westbrook, the hardest worker in the game with no rings. Hey, facts for real. I feel sorry for the guy sometimes. I love his hustle, though. Best hustle I've seen since Metal World Peace. Metal World Peace was he was a piece of work. Very different from my bad. Very different from them Leatherhead days. Yeah, I feel you. So I guess this is so. Now that we're gonna kind of wrap up. So now I kind of want to start doing this just like a final thoughts, just keeping it 100. It could be about anything. It could be about things that we talked about, but just kind of do some final thoughts. This is the first time we're doing it. I'll give my final thoughts real quick. And my final thoughts are, and I hope Tim is watching this, Steph Curry is the truth. These are my final thoughts. Bro, I've been watching this guy. Chuck. Smooth. This guy is and I wanted to see him do good with Doc Clay this year, but I was looking at something on IG and they said that his highest points was 54 points over his whole career. This season he's dropped 54 twice, and they did the stat line for when he won a unanimous MVP to now. The numbers are dang near identical. Except for back then, his assists were up a little bit more. So I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I was one of those people that was like, Steph did it. Dude, I think Steph can lead a team, bro. Like at first, I was like he needed this little system he was in. I'm backing back on that. I really think Steph can lead a team. They're gonna make the playoffs, and I think whoever has them, that it's gonna be a dogfight, bro. Like. I'm believing in the Warriors again, even though they ain't got Clay. And I never thought I would say that. But bro, like, dude balling, man. This dude is pulling up from the half like not the time ain't running out and he's pulling up from half court. He just doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like 12 minutes in the quarter and this man just stop and pull up. I'm like, what the heck? And when it leaves his hand, at first I was like, bad shot. And then it went in, I'm like, dang. And then he did it again. I was like, man, another stupid shot. And then when I said, dang, bro, like this guy just pulling up, man. Look like me out there. My Supreme said Curry needs just one more all-star and it should be Giannis. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So anyway, so that's my final thought. That's me keeping it 100. I'm admitting it, and I hope Tim goes back and watch this. If not, that's cool too, because he ain't got. I don't want to hear his mouth. But Chuck, keep it 100. What you got to say? What's your final thoughts?
All right, my final thoughts are, along with the NBA line, is adios, James Harden.
Oh.
So at first few weeks ago when Harden got traded, I was thinking, oh great, we're gonna be in literal rebuild mode for like the next few years or so. But man, these Rockets come into play whether win or lose. And I give them a lot of credit for that. Like it goes to show you it's a team game. There's not a guy on the team that's gonna be scoring prolifically like he did, but I don't think you need that. I just think you need guys that are going to play their roles. We have depth as far as good solid players, and this isn't a championship year by far, but I like where we're heading. If we keep it up, like shout out to Coach Silas. He's doing a really great job with what he has right now. And everybody buying into playing as a unit and not being selfish. So and James Harden, sorry dude, you ain't win the championship.
Nope.
Lakers winning.
I agree with that. What about you, Smooth?
Nah, I just wanted to say, man, listen, I haven't been I'm not a Tom Brady fan per se. But I will say the following. The man is 43 years old. And his work ethic, yeah, we could debate whether he's the GOAT or not, and that's debatable. And we all have our opinions, right? But we can not debate is his work ethic and the discipline and everything that he puts in to get himself ready for an NFL season. Like, we haven't seen anything like it. I'm not trying to sound like a Brady fan, because I'm definitely not. I'm not gonna pretend like I am. But I had to appreciate greatness. I had to appreciate another athlete's greatness. He's 43 and still pulling off. I mean, he just won his 7th Super Bowl yesterday. So I think we had to give him credit, and I think that tells us we could apply. It's kind of like technology, what you said about that Mamba mentality. We could apply some of what these athletes do into our own lives. Doesn't matter what we do. I feel that we could apply it into our own life. We could put that work ethic and that dedication into what we're doing and apply into our own life and be great like they are. That's like my final thoughts.
That's what's up.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Hey, but we gonna get off of here, man. I appreciate everybody pulling up. Thank you guys. And hold on, D Rose is coming back to the Garden. I'm happy to see that. Hey, Nick's been balling, bro. Nick's been balling. They got the best defense in the league right now.
Yeah.
And then guess who's number 2?
LA.
Guess who last?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Hey, and you know the funny thing about it is, like, who wouldn't have thought that? Like, I mean, come on. You got people saying, oh, yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe that. Dude, it's James Harden,
Yes.
Kyrie, and Kevin Durant. And listen, for everybody, and people can argue with me till the cows come home, Kevin Durant is not the best defensive player. Within the Warriors, he played very well. And because he's so fluent on offense and effective on offense, I mean, it kind of helps it take his advantage, whoever he's guarding him, because he kind of wears him down. But James Harden never played no defense, and Kyrie don't play no defense. They're gonna need some perimeter defenders if they're gonna compete in the championship.
Man, they need defenders everywhere, not even
get smile on the face. Knicks never. Come on, man. You gotta respect the Knicks, man, a little bit. Hey, but we gonna go ahead and sign off here. I appreciate y'all. I gotta do a how to cop for these Ken Griffiths real quick. So,
hey, real quick, I was just gonna say you gotta give credit to Thibodeau, man. Thibodeau's that defensive guru, man. So
yeah, Thibodeau's got him balling. Like I said, Derrick Rose gonna be there. That's gonna be. They might Hey, what if the Knicks make the playoffs, man?
They are gonna make the playoffs. I'm calling it now. They're
Hey,
making.
what if they make the playoffs and then they play the Nets and they beat the Nets in the first round?
Oh,
Hey, I would not laugh. Hey, y'all heard it here first. If it happens, dude, man,
That'd be worse than what happened to the Clippers last year.
it doesn't matter because the Clippers are cursed, bro. Listen, hey, the Clippers, they might as well they got a hex on them. I don't know what's going on with them. But hey, we're gonna get off here. Hey, we'll holler at y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.